It is an excuse for not having a recording ceremony.
That's right.
Okay.
We have
Well,
minutes.
Can Sabrina record
It's
it?
on.
Let's call the meeting back to order. Our item up for, the next item up on the agenda is to review our consent items. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
A second.
All in favor of approving our consent items?
Right.
All right, next item up for review and action items up for consideration, discussion, and approval is setting a budget to purchase a recreation vehicle for the City and Public Works Department. Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
And a second?
I second.
We got discussion.
Any
right?
discussion? And we'll
Yes,
start the discussion with Lonnie.
Okay. I would like for us to all discuss this and get everybody's opinion on what kind of vehicle that we need to get for them to be able to do their work. We previously had a truck out here a long time ago. We had a truck that they used for public work. It was a short wheelbase Chevrolet pickup truck. They have heat and air conditioning in them. Okay, and you can also get in and out of the rain, stuff like that. We went to a golf cart, rarely got used because, you know, the elements, the heat, the wind, the rain, the cold, everything about it, it just wasn't, it's not nearly as good. I'm trying to present this as we don't need to buy the Volkswagen, maybe we need to get the Cadillac.
We're just setting a budget, bud.
I understand, but the budget is going to be,
Right.
the budget is going to be greatly affected by what you buy, okay? So I think that budget probably needs to be more than that, or we could amend that budget to be a certain amount per year, and the city could pay a note on we could either lease a truck, which is really the best way to go. We could lease a truck, pay that monthly. Part of that would come out of the water department, and I guess part of that would come out of the city. Probably how much percentage, how you want to break it down. But then that pickup truck could be used also to go to Ritter, also to go to Home Depot, wherever it is we got to go. They could go get stuff with that pickup truck, and it'd be legal to drive down the road and insured. Okay, trying to get insurance on a four-wheeler or a side-by-side for a city is probably, I don't even think you'd be able to get insurance for a city. And you sure couldn't go to Ritter, and you sure couldn't go to Lowe's. You still got to use their personal vehicles.
And one of the things too, like when I bought my first side-by-side, my insurance company asked me if I took the courses and all that stuff, because if you haven't, then the rate goes up, which is not that costly on a side-by-side, to be honest.
But when you put it commercial,
But
you
yeah,
make it
commercial,
city,
yeah, I
it's
guess,
going to
yeah.
be a whole different ball.
Can we just go down the line?
Okay, so I just want us to consider possibly leasing a pickup truck that would be useful. Now, Jim has some useful needs in 2% of his work area that he could use a four-wheel drive side-by-side to get to certain sewer parks and stuff like that, okay? That won't be accessible by that pickup truck, okay? So we've been walking those since then. They don't have to get done on a regular basis. I mean, it's randomly that has to be done. So I think we could continue on the way we go. I have 2 four-wheelers. If the city needs to borrow a four-wheeler to drive to go do that, I'll be more than happy to let Chuck and them use those four-wheelers. They need to get rode anyway. Yeah.
So, I don't know if any of you have passed the meter box, getting it out of the business or not, but that is very, so that's why we had suggested a side-by-side rather than, I understand your point about blowing the weather and stuff.
And the weather
but
conditions.
For the work that's being done throughout the city, side-by-side or like that, could be much more efficient.
Well, we're not reading meters, I mean, we're not going to every meter. We're going,
Now, they are going to meet with the meter right now, do the wet water survey,
well, that's, I mean,
plus all of
you're buying something for the next 4 months or 5 months that they'll be doing this particular project, okay? And you're gonna have, now you're stuck with it for the rest of your time.
Well, I was gonna,
Somebody that needs to do what we need to.
I was gonna talk about this on my report, but, we're looking at expanding the use of our maintenance team. And right now, what we're focusing on is getting the copper, and lead inspections, the pipe inspections done. And they've already completed the, Trader Park and Carroll Street here in the last week, and that's almost as much as we were getting done before. So anyway, that's a yard to yard and whatever, but, after that's done, that's a one-time deal. So we've got other things we're looking at moving to that group to do, like meter rereads, and even in the long run, possibly replacing meters or meter disconnects and reconnects and some of that stuff. So the future is not just for the short term of doing this stuff. It could be an ongoing process, which would be a labor-saving opportunity for us. So my thought is that I like the idea of having our own vehicle, and I like Lonnie's suggestion. I'm not sure what the right vehicle is. Sabrina's got personal experience because she did that job, and we're doing it now with the personal vehicles, and they're getting gas mileage and whatnot. That's really not the best way to do it for what we're doing, because there are some advantages with the four-wheel drive, or some disadvantages. You pointed out some, because we can use that to go downtown for that truck. I would like us to go back and maybe look and see what the cost of a 2-year truck. It doesn't even have to be a 150 Silverado. It can be a
Maverick or something.
yeah,
They make little
Ranger,
trucks.
Nissan Pathfinder, whatever.
Ranger, possibly.
But possibly look at that. I don't know if we can modify this to accept this as agreeing to purchase a vehicle from the maintenance department and come back and recommend what vehicle we do.
Set the
And how we
budget.
do it.
And how
Just
we
set the
do it.
budget, the dollar amount?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're guessing at the dollar amount. Lonnie's spent some time on this, and he's done some research, and there's two of them in there. We actually talked to one of the people at the motorcycle shop that was involved in maintenance, and said that the most reliable one was the Kawasaki Mule. They've done all of the Japanese made. They hadn't done any of the tractor maintenance. So that's my thought on it.
The lease thing, I would be willing to go around to Classic and go down to.
Let me address the lease thing. And this kind of comes from managing an account. If we bought a vehicle, it's going to come as a capital investment. It's going to come off of a balance sheet. It's not going to come off our cost sheet. If we lease it, it's going to come off of the cost sheet. What's that, Sabrina?
Taking
It doesn't
from ARPA
come out
funds,
of operating.
nothing out of operating.
Yeah, but
We
if
have ARPA funds purchased out of rather than not.
it's purchased, but if we lease it, it's going to come out of our operating expense.
Yeah, correct.
You could still pay the
Yes.
lease. And if you lease it, you don't have the maintenance, you don't have
It's
the.
money in one pot versus the other, but it's next year when I come in here for my budget and I'm way over because I leased the vehicle. It's coming off of cost, it's not coming out of my pot of money that's sitting in there. Anyway, my thought is that I'm for the vehicle. I don't know what the right vehicle is.
Oh,
What would you set as?
Oh, I have no idea. I'd say 20 grand.
And then that can be modified to pay a note.
because you can always add to it.
Yeah. Well, you want to go with that?
I think it's possible to do both if we don't have to get brand new.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you can have a beater truck and use that for the. Well,
Any other input on dollar amount for the budget? So far, we've got 20.
Just for the actual cost of the
Just the
vehicle.
budget,
Yeah, just the
That's
budget.
for the cost of a vehicle, but that can be
picking a
modified
vehicle or anything
to
like
a
that.
note if we end up paying a 6-year note or whatever it is on it, or we could do a 3-year lease or a 2-year
Would we
lease.
need an actuary to show what the potential maintenance fee would be on all this to set? Well,
No, we don't need all that, we just need to decide whether we want it or not, and,
Yeah, that's good.
what's,
I think
what's the limit.
we all agree, am I in the right parameters as to that, we all agree that we do need a utility vehicle?
Yes.
I still, no, I had one other thing. With insurance on a vehicle though, for the city, I think age matters too, so I don't know if that's a problem with insurance, if they're under 25. With the city, I don't know if that's a big deal. The driver or the vehicle? The driver. The driver.
I got some 25.
Because it's like, if it's not their policy, I don't know if the city can carry them. So I'm throwing that out there, I think you might want to check on that.
Hey,
That's it, and also too,
Yeah. It's like rental car kind of thing, like the policy isn't for under 25 or whatever.
right, and on top of that, how some companies only allow a vehicle to be a certain age, so I don't know how that affects being a
Right,
city
right.
vehicle.
Yep. So I don't know, I mean,
But
just,
I like the idea of, if we can, if we could purchase a truck and a side-by-side used, because there's times that maintenance needs to get back off into an area that the only way you're gonna get there, and Buzz offered his, and you know you're welcome to mine. Mine's up for sale for $10,000.
Can't do business with the city.
budget, 3,500.
no, but I mean, there's good used trucks out there, and maybe even a new side-by-side and a $5,000 used truck. I mean, that gets you to Ritter, you know, I don't.
So,
I recommend that we modify the proposal to agree to purchase a vehicle from the city at approximately $20,000 and come back and determine what it is we want.
that'll be, so 20,000, would you agree, Joe and, Roger?
Yes.
20,000 as a budget.
Any more discussion?
Thank you, guys.
And we're gonna come back and determine
Budget
what
of
vehicle.
20?
Right.
And then they're gonna bring it back.
So we're kinda tabling, we're setting the budget price, but we're tabling the type of vehicle that it is, correct?
Vehicle or vehicle.
For more information.
Vehicle or vehicle.
Yeah.
Whatever. it is.
And we need to involve the people that are gonna be operating that
Yes,
vehicle.
most definitely.
And it's something to think about when we have that discussion where it's gonna be stored.
In here. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
All right.
in the bay,
Yeah.
yes.
Any more discussion? All in favor of setting the budget at 20 and then bringing it back again to decide on what type of vehicle?
That timeline will be the next meeting?
Next meeting, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'm assuming Ronnie's still got that ball, right?
And the next item on the agenda for consideration, the approval of 2025 tax rates. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Shouldn't be because we've already discussed it. All in favor?
Wait,
Aye.
what are we going with though?
It's,
We went with a
it's
no,
the same rate as before, we haven't changed
Oh.
anything.
same tax rate,
The same tax rate.
Yes,
same tax.
Same
no
as
new
Got the
tax
rate
rate.
the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kept
Point
the rate the same.
1309.
All
We
in
didn't go
favor?
with the no.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up for consideration is a resolution regarding the policy of use of city resources. Can I have a motion?
I motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll start the discussion. Basically, this is restating what we can and cannot do as city council members and or mayor, singular, because there's only one of us. There's a lot of resources that are available to the city that we're not allowed to use. Like, for example, as the mayor, I can't go to Ritter's and use the city's discount. And this is just basically a resolution restating this because sometimes we don't really call, but this way, now it's in black and white, and if I try to get a discount and I'm not allowed to, you guys can get me for it. So,
I'm the one that got y'all discount, Ritter, and I still get this.
this is why we're having to do this, bro.
It's okay, it's all right.
But anyway, this is why I'm restating this resolution, so that way there's no black and, I mean, it's all in black and white, basically, that these are the things we can and cannot do. Anybody have any questions?
But this doesn't stop,
I do-
stop me from going to Ritter's negotiating with my own rate.
Because I'm Jim Wright, city council member for the city of Bevel Oaks, I want a deal. That's what this prevents, yes.
I get a better deal.
Okay.
I get a
want
contractor's deal from him, so.
All right, I think,
No, I misread something.
I need some
I
materials,
saw the
bud.
campaign,
All
I
right.
was thinking something else.
Any discussion on this, or can we have,
yes.
okay,
So, does this mean that council can't contact
any of our suppliers,
our
or,
rep to say,
correct.
I'm having a personal event and then get billed?
If I call Republic and say, hey, I'm the mayor for the city of Bevel Oaks, I'm gonna have a birthday party at the park, I want a deal, I cannot do that. This is what this resolution does. You've got to separate personal from city responsibility.
So what
But I
happens
can,
with,
I can call, because I
As-
have an event every Easter for the weekend.
Correct.
I can call as Lonnie Clay, citizen at 13580 Wayside, and ask them,
Deliver it
can
to your
I,
house.
yes, deliver it at my house, and that's me personally,
Correct.
personally.
isn't the elephant in the room the trash cans for Taz's car
All right,
show?
but,
I mean, isn't,
Yeah, talk about it. I mean, this is
but-
what brought us to the table.
this is what brought this up. This is
But
what
the thing
this
is,
is about.
So let's talk about it.
I can't be mad at you if you don't know this, you know?
Well, and the fact that I didn't call as a city council member.
But the call that I got from Laura was, hey, Jeff Thibodeau, city council member, called me and said X, Y, and Z. That's the only
So,
reason, Jeff, that's why
Long before Republic was out here, it was, what, Piney Woods?
Tiny Woods and then even yes.
Yeah, I was dealing with Republic and Waste Management for 40-some odd years. And so, this was always a private event. I never, ever represented myself as a city council member. So, and the reason they called you is because there was a note on the file that,
Correct.
that nothing was to come out to the city of Bevel Oaks without your express permission.
For
And-
any event. It's not just for the car show.
Right, for any event. And so it was a mix-up between our representative and the sales team. I'm 100% with this, the 171, the 176. I support this resolution 110%. I just want you to know that never, ever, ever, if the calls were recorded, you can play it back. I was never, ever represented the city of Bevel Oaks.
But that's why I had Laura put it in writing, and I included it in the packet, so that way, if council asks me, how did this happen? You know, it's a way to not only protect you, it's protecting the city, and that way, when Laura says, hey, Councilman Thibodeau wanted this for this private event, and I reply back to it, you've got to paper trail too.
Well, I'm actually prepared to, if necessary, through.
Oh, well, this is an ethical restatement in the ordinance of what we're gonna do.
Exactly, that's all it is.
That's it.
It's just
Doesn't have
that
anything to
we-
do with Jeff and the city.
no,
If y'all
no,
wanna discuss
no.
this outside the meeting, that's fine.
Absolutely, that's why I didn't,
I think because we all are learning. So, again, something happened, and nobody was wrong in what we did in operating. And so, she felt that, hey, to prevent anything from happening to any one of us, this is something that I need to implement.
As I mentioned, I
So-
supported
and
it.
he's
There-
supporting it.
Yes, and I'm totally with you. So,
And if
I'm just saying,
I'm prepared to file the 171 report if we need to, that shows that everything is in compliance. And then the 176, in anything that needs to be done, I'll be happy to do whatever.
all right, we're good, you're good.
All right, any more discussion on this?
None.
All in favor of approving the resolution as written?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, who wants to start doing reports? I'm passing. No, he'll talk to you. Yeah, you may go, thank you, appreciate you.
Thank you, Drew.
Why don't we start with Jeff on the reports, and let's go,
You wanna just go down the line? Next
we'll
one's
start with
Lonnie.
Jeff.
So, recent recent new is garage sale, citywide garage sale on the 18th. We'll have more details coming up about it. This recently transpired, people were asking for it. And so we've got 20, at this point, 27 people that are looking for it. So we've already got the banners, we've already got the flyers. It's just legwork, putting it together. So you'll have some announcements coming up about that. Support it, not support it, don't care.
Are you gonna have dumpsters?
That's the next thing I need to figure out is what our budget remains, what remains of the budget. And the last dumpsters, were they out of the community development budget?
But, what you can do, Jeff, send Laura an email, CC me, I'll reply back. We can do at least two, because people didn't want it.
And we did increase next year's too
Yeah,
for
we
an
did
additional
increase
round.
it, so we should be done.
We learned about the dumpsters, right?
You're gonna end up with 3.
We learned about not putting them out there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah.
No, the last 3 garage sales, it was monitored close because the first one you warned me about. And I mean, they just came out of the woodwork. I said, where's all this stuff coming from?
That sheet rock and everything.
Holy smoke. And we did have 2.
That'll be a
Just the
different
first of
bucket.
the year, I guess, yeah.
Oh, they get it annually, so that they get it
And
annually.
Charlie and I have talked about permanent dumpsters in the back.
Yes.
Well, we're talking, you and I, the last time you and I talked about it, it was to have the 2 there, and then you open it on a scheduled basis. So,
Let's open a dialogue with Laura to see what it would cost us to do that.
Well, you just, Jeff, it's not good to put them back there and nobody be back there monitoring what people are putting in
that
there.
wasn't the whole thing, no, sir. It would be gated, locked, and there would have, he and I have already talked
How
some of
would
the
they get
details.
in there?
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Can we just break that up?
What it would do is allow you to control.
Or after we.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss this offline. It doesn't have to
Oh,
be a
okay.
council.
Okay.
I'm done.
No report from me, got a report?
Yeah, I was, working on the last, city council meeting. We were asked to, I took it upon myself to do a checklist for, and not trying to step on no toes, for the civic center. I think we have everything down pat. But there's a checklist that was created. Good. Not for you and your, this is general, like, I think they do maintenance and come over here to clean, whatever. So I did one for the civic center, the city hall, the park, the water plant, and also the sewer plant. Sabrina actually has it on the spreadsheet to where these guys are actually, it's so we can see, what, they're actually doing on a daily basis. I did talk with, the fire chief, and, I see that, he mentioned about the fire extinguisher, one of the fire extinguishers, not being on the mount that's been on it. Yeah, because we have 2 in here. They had one that didn't have the mount, yeah.
That's been up there for a while.
Right, but one of them didn't have a mount. I mean, from what he had told me about. There's
Yeah,
some things to
a
actually.
year ago, I
yeah.
guess.
And, he did mention about maybe we should consider putting not an exit on those 2 doors right there, just in case. And also, also as far as this, he said for this building and also the city hall, he's going to get back with me about maybe we're not in that realm of legality, because of square footage, because it's small, but having a floor plan with exit routes.
I would post a placard up on
post,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
post.
Yeah, there was one up there.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to report on the checklist.
Flood got it?
Also, I talked with, Paul Blackburn, which is, my contact at Energy. We've been having complaints about power surges, people's energy lights, and the electricity is flickering. I did talk to Charlie, and he did bring me and show me a couple of spots. I know I have one by the corner of my home, been a month, and he told me that it would be no less than 4 weeks. Today is 4 weeks and a day. So I will be calling him every day from here on in until I start seeing some trucks out here to get that done. And that's all I have to report.
Alright, Lonnie and I are working on a team effort to reach out to our entire ward as a whole and hear their voices. So we'll be finalizing that up by this weekend, and hopefully we get a good response. When I say good, I mean quantifiable response. So, and then we can present it and share it with you guys, and see if you guys want to extend it to your ward.
Real quick, I've already mentioned one of the items about us taking over the lead conference station. The other thing too, and we talked about it at the budget meeting, but our meter warranty is running out on all of our meters. We've got quite a few out right now, and we've been meeting with Accurate Meters because that's who we purchased them through and did some good work from Sabrina. We've finally got a good hard price on them, and they're going to sell us new meters with endpoints for $200 a piece, which is almost half of what we were expecting. So it's still going to be a lot of money when you start looking at the ones we got to replace, but they're coming with new 10-year warranties. So we put that in our budget that we just approved. Whether it's going to be enough or not, we'll know down the road. So we're flat out right now. So we're in the process of creating another order.
And this is the same company we have already?
They're all Badger meters, but the distributor is Accurate Meter out of Katy. And Sabrina and Heather went over there and paid them a visit here last month or so, and saw a little bit of their facility. Did a little training, but I won't go into that, but it's stuff that we're learning. One other thing too, just mentioned it, especially for Ward 1 guys, we're going to have some major work going on the end of Carroll Street. We're going to be digging some holes down there. It's going to be deep enough. We're going to have to require shoring it up and whatnot. So,
When does that start?
pretty soon. Yeah.
And this will be the county doing it, or?
No, this will be utility innovation, just sewer line repair. The other thing that we've been working on is and I mentioned it before, the I&I penetration, infiltration, and inflow into our sewer system. We found out that during heavy rains, our pumps are working about 8 times the amount that they normally would work with no rain events. So that means we're getting a lot of water into our system from various sources. So we found some obvious ones that we're going to make repairs on. And here again, that's going to be some money we spent. We put some money in the budget, but that's why we were over, bud. So I don't know how that's going to come out. But those are things we got to fix. And if they get too big, we're still going to be pursuing bond work to redo our system. But we're trying to fix the obvious right now. Grant work.
I said the B word.
This one that we're working on Carroll Street has some problems we can't ignore, so we're getting on it right now.
So that'll be, will it be necessary for there to be a call out to the people that are affected on
Oh, they've
Carroll
already
Street?
been contacted. Yeah, we've been in contact with them. One of them is real thrilled, and I don't know about the other. But well, I won't go into details. It's going to be going between 2 houses, and there ain't a lot of space. Oops. Yep. What's her name? Johnstone. It's there at the end. You know where it is. There's 2 houses there. They're marked. If you want to go look at them, they've done the 811 markings. And oddly enough, that drains to the lift station on River Bend. You would think that it'd go to the Boulevard, but it doesn't. It goes to River Bend.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with what's kind of in my ward, the trailer park up there in the front. The residents up there are being told that the city is leaning on them hard they're raising their rent a lot. And when we as a group proposed that $100 per trailer thing for the trailer park, that's $8 and a little over $8 a month, okay? And they're raising the rates as much as $150. And I want everybody to know that rate increase is not because of the city increase. That's because of the individual ownership increase. Now, in their defense, they may not have had an increase in years. So maybe they're just taking this as an opportunity to increase the rent. It's one of the cheapest places you can rent park a trailer.
But
Okay?
only $8 a month.
But only 8 of that.
$100 a year.
Yeah, only $8 a month. You know, when you're she's raising monthly, or whoever, the trailer parks are raising monthly, so they're raising like, you know, what, 15 times as much as what we're raising.
So basically, it's a tenant versus owner
That's
issue.
right. This is a tenant versus owner
Okay.
issue. This is not our,
Okay.
this has very little to do with what the city is imposing in our.
Basically what he's saying, $8 a month is what we are raising the
Yeah.
cost.
Right, but, right.
And that, whatever that
But
business wants to go up, that's their business.
Yeah, but
That's their business.
what I'm asking is, what is their concerns with?
Because they're being told, one of the trailer tenants told me that the city is leaning on that trailer park hard right now, and it's gonna cost them a lot more money. So they're raising their rent like $150 a month,
Did you ask them specifically what they meant by leaning on them? What does it
raising their costs. Raising
They
their
just told them
costs.
they were
So
gonna
they're
raise
under the
business.
impression that the city is.
In other words, they're passing the cost on to the citizens, and that's not correct information, because
Right.
we're only a small smidgen.
It's
Okay.
real simple. They're raising the cost and they're blaming it on the city.
Correct. All right.
Okay.
But you did rectify that.
Yeah, I rectified it with that individual, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, I told him, I said, I'll get you a copy of the ordinance if you want it, you know, you can see that we only raised it $8. Okay, so moving right along. The county will start road work, you know, y'all all agreed on us spending $20-something thousand on road repairs out here. They're gonna start at the end of the boulevard Tuesday, I believe, isn't it, Sabrina or Wendy, weather permitting? Monday, weather permitting, okay, and they're gonna do that little circle, they've already put the limestone down there, and then they're gonna continue on and do Chimney Rock, and then they're gonna go do Thousand Oaks, isn't that correct?
I think I saw new signs on there too. It's down on Chimney Road.
So the next week? The next week. But Sabrina's gonna do the call outs for the affected people, so that they'll know, you know, that there's only gonna be like an hour of inaccessible road. They put a clear coat down, the way he explained it to me. They fill it up, they put this clear tar over it, and that has to sit there dry for an hour without somebody driving on it. It's the ideal thing to happen. Okay, so the road might be closed for an hour, and then after that, they can drive on it. Because when they put the tar down, they're coming right behind it with rock. So it's not like they're gonna tar the road and then leave it, and then you get tar all over your car. Okay, they're gonna tar and rock as they go. So it'll be a smooth situation. So that's great news that we're getting some road work done. You know, I mean, they had told me that it could be next year before, you know, it got, the weather has helped them, and so anyway, they're going to move forward with that. DD6 has also done just tremendous amounts of work out here. You can go down, man, just about any street you want to out here, and you can spot where DD6 did this or DD6 did that. They got more right of ways. They're just really concentrating on Bevel Oaks right now. And I told them that I called today and I talked to one of the guys down there, and I told them I'll try to get to one of their meetings soon, because it helps them when we go up there and we say, hey, you know, thank y'all for all y'all do. We're 2 square miles out of the 550 that they cover. I mean, they dig ditches behind Parkdale Mall. You know, they're all over the place, but they got lots and lots of resources. So they are really concentrating on Bevel Oaks, and we have a good relationship with them, and I think that's gonna continue. You can put it on the website. And they can see it. You know? Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Anyway,
on their ditch
the county, as far as ditches is concerned out here, they've had a machine that, they've got one machine that's still down, their big good one. Still down, it's $100,000 to fix it, or something, they're having to get funds approved. Something that was brought out in a meeting when I met with them, they actually have 10 employees in precinct 1, 10 people to work on stuff. Man, that's just not enough people, you know, I mean, they just don't have enough people. Brandon Willis added a position, he took the bullets from everybody, you know, because they didn't want to spend the money, you know, but he added another position, so they're gonna now have 11 people that are working for the county.
Which exact ditches are DD6 maintaining?
The DD6 ditches are on a map at the office, and it'll show you, it pretty much is the big ditches, and the long ways ditches that go through Bevel Oaks, the ones that have DD6 right-of-way signs on them, most of them do, they got a DD6 right-of-way sign on them, but most of them are the big ditches, you know, and the county ditches are typically your ditches in front of your houses that run alongside the streets. That's typically the county's ditches. Most of those. I mean, there's a few rare cases where there's some DD6 ditches that are on the side of the road, but most all those are the ones that run down the road. And I did the math on them cleaning out all the ditches in Bevel Oaks, and with the amount of days, we get 3 days a month from the county, and it would take about 22 years for them to dig out all the ditches in Bevel Oaks. People talk about, why don't they dig this one, why don't they dig that one? Well, when I started this, we threw away all the work orders, and we started with water getting in people's, or almost getting in people's houses. That was number 1 priority. Second priority was water going over the road, and then after that, we'll work on, as we can, we'll get them to dig other ditches. But, you know, we're trying to take care of the high priority stuff. We're, you know, we got stuff, and we have it right here, right now.
DD6 DD6.
Just DD6. Yes. Everything else is the county.
Everything else.
Everything else that's not have that blue stripe on it, it belongs to the county. So that's pretty, you know, that's pretty easy way to figure that out. I mean, I like what I'm doing. I like working with these guys. They're good. You know, I mean, they do their work. They do what they promise. You know, so I got no complaints about that. They're just really doing. I mean, I like doing this. The mowing guy, he's slowing down now, so you'll see some limb trimming. You'll see some trees getting trimmed, you know, raised up, you know, the hanging limbs, and just different things that he'll do.
Do we have a list of those, or if we have some that we need to turn in?
As far as the trees,
Yeah, like dead limbs over a street or something? Is there some?
well, he's not going to do unless he can reach it with a pole saw. I'm
Yeah.
talking more about the parks, stuff like that. I'm not talking about on the streets.
Okay.
I mean, because he only really maintains not a lot of the streets. You know.
Was he the one that cut down the limb over on Leaning Oaks?
I thought you were going to say River Bend. I
No,
did
no.
the one.
No, there was one on Leaning Oaks that finally, I don't know that it fell, but I was wanting to thank whoever did it.
That was the independent guy? What's his name?
David Mills.
David Mills.
David
Okay.
did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
David did it.
Okay, well, you know, we do have some dead trees that are hanging over the roads, okay? We lucked out up here in the front with Trini, because I was sweating bullets on that one, because we were gonna have to cut those trees down up there in the front. He had them done, so we dodged a bullet there. Those were in the right of way. Now, some of those trees that you're talking about, I looked at some on Leaning Oak, they're in people's yard, and those people are responsible for those trees that are in their yard. You know, but they're curved out over the road. I mean, they're dead and they're curved out
Dead
over
as
the
a
road.
doorknob.
Now, maybe we need to send them a letter. I don't know. You know?
So that's, we'll talk about that outside of this, because
Okay.
trees are expensive, and I think we need to give a little bit longer warning.
Yeah, I mean, we can. Outside of that, I mean,
Well-
I'm just talking about maybe
Well,
Sabrina
Texas
needs
A&M is
to call them.
doing,
Well,
a survey.
the homeowner is liable for that tree. If they got a dead tree and it falls on your house, it's dead. Not if it's
You gotta
dead.
send them a registered
Not if
letter.
it's dead.
I've been down
If
that
you got
road.
a, no, I'm
Are
telling you.
we done so we can do a motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that I'm done.
All right. Motion to adjourn. All in
I
favor?
make a motion, I admit that he's a senior citizen.
Who seconded?
Look at your batteries. Does anybody show low batteries? It's right there on your screen.
No.
No.
we don't.
Mine doesn't.
Okay, Charlie, you want to comment? Somebody was recording some scratchy audio, but hey, man, if they're still good, we'll leave them.
Charlie, hey,